Hello, this is Lisa Russick with the podcast We Are All Psychic, and today we have a really cool guest, and I'm so excited because it's one of my favorite subjects she wants to talk about. And her name is Loralee. Am I pronouncing your name right, or is it Loralee?
Yeah.
Loralee?
Yeah.
Okay, Loralee, would you like to say hello?
Hello. Thank you for having me. I'm excited for our conversation today and what we can share with your guests to educate and enlighten.
Listeners and watchers, isn't she right on it? We'll see how on it she really is. Do you think we're all psychic?
Absolutely.
Good answer.
Absolutely.
That answer. Woo. So what made you think that way?
So from my understanding of all of the experiences and things that I've learned over many years, like going on 3 decades, my understanding is that the psychic abilities that we think of, like clairaudience, sentience, kinesiology or kinetic touch, telepathy, all of those things, they are actually innate expressions and functions of our nervous system.
I agree. And you can figure out, and maybe even the endocrine system and the nervous system working together. I totally agree.
Yeah. And so I think it's one of the reasons why anything psychic end up plopped into the woo-woo basket is, number one, we've been taught to put it there. And number two, we have not been educated about what our anatomy actually is, how we're built, how everything functions, and who we are. And so when we do have experiences that are the natural functioning of our nervous system and how we pick up signals and information from our biofield or aura, the environment around us, we've not been given the context or the understanding to know that's just the basic functioning of our nervous system, picking up signals,
right?
A frequency of energy. And so so we don't understand it. So we toss it into the woo-woo basket, and then we have the giggle factor about it and go about our day.
I did that one time, though. I would have done that one time, listeners and watchers, because what she's going to talk about with us is, like I said, one of my favorite subjects, healing the body with the juju, with the energy. And she's going to teach us some techniques and ways we can do that, maybe. But so tell us, how did you get started with that? I mean, how did that come into your life? Because for me, like, it's been a road. I'm on that road still. I'm like, do I think so or do I not think so? I'm still like climbing up around fences and looking. And some things have worked great. I'm a Reiki practitioner now. That's why, I mean, that's how long I've been, now I just did that. I did that a few years ago, but I'm a Reiki master teacher now. So I really liked it. So 2 years later, I went back and did the master. And I just am fascinated by, and all of a sudden I'm getting all these weird pains in my body. Like are complaining. They're like, Loralee, fix us. Tell her about us. Get rid of the energy.
What's going on?
So like they all know you're here. All the bad energies are like getting cranky, and the body's like, get them out. So that's what she's going to teach us about. How did you bring this into your life?
So way back in the day, and this is a while ago. So my introduction to all things holistic and metaphysical and energetic began out of necessity. So when I was in college, my life fell apart.
Yeah, mine did too. Mine did too in college.
It just fell apart.
Yes, so, 4th year.
Yeah. And I grew up in a very conservative, traditional religious family and culture. And so I went to a college owned by that religion. And so, of course, there's very strong parameters about what they accept, what they don't. And so I was in the major that I ended up getting my degree in was in fine art, which was actually the best place I could be at the time for that school environment, because that was the most, not really liberal, but open-minded and open to questioning.
Right. It's a subjective field. How can you grade people on it? You just grade them if they do the job. Maybe the grammar, but but fine arts is really subjective, though. I mean, all of the things you study. I mean, other than the fact who did what.
Very.
Yeah.
So I just started questioning everything, and from conversations with students and faculty, and then I started looking at, I got to find some answers because things aren't working in my life.
Right.
I looked at the college bookstore, all kinds of self-help psychology, family patterns, some holistic health things there. But then when I could, and again, I was a poor college student without a car. So whenever I did have a chance to go north to a larger town, which had one of the very first metaphysical bookstores,
Ooh.
I would go there and I would just soak up everything that I could find. I brought home so many books.
Oh my God.
And whatever topic just talked to me, then I followed it. And one of the ones that just rattled my brain, my cage like none other, was being introduced to energy work, energy healing, and psychic healing, spiritual awareness. And it just rattled my cage.
Yeah.
And so I
feel it. We've talked about that on the podcast. You feel the energy moving.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I read whatever books I could find on it. And that was one of the influential passions that led me to become a massage therapist several years later. Cool. But during that time, then I would read about some of these healers and what they were doing with their own work and some of their clients. And I just wished I could find in that very conservative town somebody who could do energy work that work with, because I knew. How
did you know what it was? Just from going to that metaphysical store? Or did somebody talk to you about it when you were younger or anything? Or did you
it was a whole new world.
Yeah. How did you do that store? How you found out about it, or books?
Yeah,
I other books, or
perused through the bookstore, and it just focused on topics that called to me, spoke to me, and
that's cool.
That just rattled. It just spoke to my heart. I was so drawn to it. I was so fascinated and interested in it. It's like, oh, I just wish I could do this. I want to do this work. I want to be able to open up psychically.
That's how I felt too. And I wanted to, but I didn't have it. I'd never been to a metaphysical store except when I went to Philadelphia when I was older. And they said, like, we go to, what was it called? New Hope, or there's a Hope place out there in it's this beautiful artist town. And they have rocks, of course, in every store. And I used to collect them. I've always collected rocks. It's just all my life, I've collected rocks. And I don't know what I'm getting at, but there goes my train of thought. Because I started thinking about rocks. If I think about rocks or cats, it's out. So, I'm getting so excited. Oh, but being back then, I was in college 93 through 90. Well, a lot longer than 97, but I went to 3 different colleges. So, and credits didn't transfer, and I never did finish, but I did get an audio certification. So, but I studied English and I didn't do the fine arts. I mainly studied English for 7 years, and I did study philosophy and English and music and some other things and stuff like that. And I did find it before then. I mean, the only thing I'm trying to think when I was regularly around anything, but I was fascinated with the objects. There was a head shop in our town called Zero Gravity, and it was a rock and roll emporium. But we knew it was a head shop, and you couldn't go behind the beaded curtain unless you were 18. In the 90s. And I never went behind the beaded curtain, but I'd always go over to the pagan section. I didn't know it was a pagan section. I was just like, look at this chalice. Ooh, look at this wand. These birds. Look at these rocks. I was always drawn to them too. And I was like, I thought I was drawn to the pot stuff paraphernalia, but it wasn't. It was the pagan section of Zero Gravity. I was confused. I just thought I liked all this stuff. I thought it all went together. I thought pagan was hippie.
In some ways, you could make that connection.
You can make that connection. Yes, you can.
Yeah, I had a friend that I went to college with that she ended up having a lapidary shop talking about rocks and crystals.
Right.
And I loved them too. And so I would go visit her. And she would tell me, and this was a few years after school, she would tell me about this client or this other customer who would come in that saw energy and would be able to clear some of the energy out of her wrist from getting carpal tunnel, from doing all these teeny tiny movements with the little instruments to do the lapidary work, the jewelry.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh my God, I got to meet this woman. When is she going to be?
Yeah, no kidding. Right.
So a few weeks later, then I was in the shop and this woman comes in and I'm like, so got her information and all learned out what she does. And she started working on me. And it was fascinating. And I became a regular client. And after a few months, so just kind of a backstory, growing up, I was painfully shy and quiet. I couldn't even, whenever I would open my mouth, somebody next to me couldn't speak or couldn't hear me speak. so,
Oh,
so shy and so uncomfortable in my skin.
is it like a kid, like 10-year-old or older or younger? Like what?
My
age?
whole,
Old up. Oh,
childhood.
wow. Oh, wow.
And so that timidness followed me. And so it took me a couple of times of seeing my healer friend to get up the courage just to ask her if she would teach me how to do this work. And when I finally did, because it was at that point in my life, that was the most important thing that I wanted to do. And I knew I was a mess.
Yes.
So I knew I needed the work done. And I also wanted it to learn it and to teach it and to be able to see energy and open up psychically, all the things. So when I finally got the courage to ask her, it was such a relief off my shoulders, like, oh, I could finally verbalize this. And just nonchalantly, yes, of course.
Oh,
And I was like, oh my gosh.
wow.
So that unfolded another phase of our relationship, which I worked with her for over probably close to 14 years. We became pretty good friends. I learned so much from her.
Wow. Yeah.
And so along the way, then I learned how to begin thinking about my body, because at the time I certainly wasn't. Learned how to care, learned how to eat, how to change my diet, became a massage therapist, became a Reiki master, all the things just to be able to move me down in this direction of work and, being able to help.
Fascinating story, because I went through divination to get to the healing. And it's like you went through the healing to get to the healing.
Yeah, through emotional trauma and my life falling apart.
Yeah, that will do it. You got to do something after that. You just can't just pick it up and go on, get on.
Oh, no.
The horse hurts too. I mean, the horse is probably dead. That horse isn't coming back. Doesn't want to come back. It took off. It's like, you can't get on it.
So it was what I found with doing, at this point, it's been like over 30 years, but the work was so profound to me that it literally changed everything. I would not be who I am if I did not have that work done. It changes, it put me together in a way I could never have imagined.
And for me, the healing itself of like me healing me, other people showing me how to do that in emotional traumas and stuff, still working through tons. Well, it's like a lifetime after a lifetime thing, I think, of just fixing stuff and the energy and learning about how to do it, so we don't have to come back, And so
exactly.
Hopefully, unless we want to, I guess. For some reason, we just maybe when we die, it's fun to come back. It's like we're bored with no time or whatever. I'm getting off topic, but with the energy healing, I just think that's really fascinating that you went that direction. I think it's cool. Yeah, you knew what you wanted. You knew you wanted to heal it, and I also think that I wouldn't be the same person either. But maybe we wouldn't be the same people that we are now if we hadn't fallen apart in college or something.
Yeah, I can. Looking back now, I can say that was the best thing that happened. Although at the time, that was the worst thing that could happen.
Yes, I know. Oh my gosh, I know.
Oh, there were those such dark, painful years. I wouldn't put that on anyone.
I would never.
At the same time, I do understand that the awakening process is that
it can
dark.
be.
It can. Most people will go through a very dark, lost phase in their awakening process, and that's just the unfoldment of the human. It's just that's just what is, And whether or not we have the resources and people available to us will determine in large measure how difficult it is, and whether or not we're open to learn and consider new things and to drop things that we felt to be very sacred and solid and immobile in our lives. Because the shakeup, it comes to remove those very things.
If they're not serving us. Absolutely. Exactly. Yes.
Exactly.
It will do that, whether we like it or not. Yeah. And we'll like it in the end. I did.
Yeah.
And then the end never came, and a new beginning happens, and another end, another beginning, another end, and the end never comes. It's like the end is going to come eventually, I guess, but so we don't talk about that yet. Yeah. No, right now. We talk about that on the podcast.
It's how much do you want to explore this time that we have in the body? How much do you want to grow and discover who you are and what you're capable of doing and discovering what you're here to offer people. I mean, there's so many different ways you can really appreciate and enjoy this life.
Yes.
And just, one thing the energy work and all the healing taught me is that death is just simply walking through a door.
Yeah.
There's so much.
I'm just kidding. They've told me, the spirits have told me that they don't feel it when they die. I don't know if that's true or not, but they all say they pop out before they go.
Yeah,
Maybe they just don't tell me that. I don't know, but they tell me that.
I think it depends on the person and how experienced they are with leaving their body.
Oh, interesting.
Or how much trauma
they do it in their sleep, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of different factors that go into that piece.
Yes, you're right. Everyone will be different. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's cool. So I would love to hear some techniques you do for people, would you do Reiki and any other kind of modalities of healing that are energy work? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I've been a Reiki master for 30 some odd years. And for my healer friend, then that's where I learned the bulk of my work from.
Okay.
It's an incredible body of work. And then one of the most important things that she taught me was to connect with my own spirit guides.
Yes.
And
that has been amazing. I was taught shamanic Reiki, Sui Reiki. And she's like, if you don't want to do guides, you don't have to. I do work with spirit guides. So I now work with Reiki guides too. And they'll give me Reiki if I ask them to. And that's just amazing.
Yeah. And that's, as I learned how to connect with my own guides and kind of perceive them, sometimes I'll see them. And a lot of it is just telepathic communication when I'm working.
That's kind of how it is. I visualize them. If I don't just see them, visualize them.
I'll do a variety, but that having that resource and that relationship has taken my own growth and healing leaps and bounds forwards, because I can have a bad day and I can come home and meditate to do a meditation. I'll just put it up, talk to them and say, hey, I got this, this, and this, and this. And I will feel them come and they will work on me. And
yes, exactly.
There have been profound energy shifts.
Yeah.
A lot of energy will be running through my body at times as they work on me and do whatever, because they can see things within my energy system, within my biofields that I obviously can't.
Right. Right.
So, and they know what my ultimate intention is for my lifetime and what I need, what my unfoldment and growth needs to be. So they can work on me in a way that I certainly can't.
I know. Right. Yeah.
So that's so the thing. And then another way that I've learned how to work is as a massage therapist, then I was always thinking, it's like, how do I connect these two worlds together? One is very energetic, almost ethereal, if you want to call it that. It's non-physical. And then massage is very physical.
Right.
And so over the years, when I would learn how to just sense and read the body and be able to perceive if there's energy stuck in or congested in certain areas, oftentimes it's the hips or the belly, the lower abdomen. It's, everybody's favorite place to stash stuff. it's in the abdominal cavity in the pelvic bowl. And so I would sense that. I will get all kinds of information, whether it's images, just a knowingness, or a thought will pop in and I'll ask the client and they'll say yes. Or just sometimes I'll feel the emotion, a range of how the information comes to me.
It's really cool.
Then,
I love that.
And then I can help them shift the energy. And I usually do that with a visualization, having them focus on their breath so that they can participate and connect with their body and connect with their energy too.
Will you feel up for you want to do a demonstration on me? Because remember, I told you, everything started hurting earlier. And right now, my right hip just barked at me. Nothing was hurting. And it just went, and you can't lay on your right side anymore. So, do you think it's something we could try? Because I'm very open to it. And I would love to. Okay.
Sure. So I'll just have you start clearing your mind.
Okay.
Getting comfortable, clearing your mind, closing your eyes, focusing on your breath. Taking a deep breath in, exhaling out, breathing in, Exhaling out. Calming your mind, calming your body. Just allowing yourself to explore your body, what it has to tell you. Understanding that every cell in your body has intelligence, has a drop of consciousness in it. That you can connect with your body and communicate and receive information from it. So now I want you to take your awareness to your spine, the backside of your neck, backside of your fifth energy center or fifth chakra. And with your breath, inhale white light. On the exhale, exhale that white light to the back of your neck at your spine. Do that again for several breaths. Inhale in white light. Exhale out to the back of your neck on the spine. Inhale, exhale. And for those watching this podcast, they can be doing this along with us. So now on your next inhale, breathe in a big bundle of white light. Now on your exhale, send it down your spine towards your heart space, the back side of your heart center. Do that for 2 or 3 breaths, exhaling down into your heart center, clearing the spine with your breath. Inhale in white light. Exhale down the spine to your heart space. Inhale again, white light. This time we're going to breathe further down the spine to the back side of your third chakra or your solar plexus, which is located at the base of your ribcage. Breathe in white light. Exhale at the back side of your third chakra. So let's just take several minutes here doing that. Really clear the energy that's congested around your solar plexus. Breathe in white light. Exhale down your spine to the solar plexus. Inhale white light. And this time exhale the white light through your solar plexus out the front side. So you're clearing that energy center from the spine to the front side of your body. Do that for several minutes. Just really clear out the energy in your solar plexus area. One more breath in. Exhaling it down into your solar plexus center and on the front side. Take another deep breath in of white light. And this time let's exhale the white light down your spine some more to the back side of your second chakra. The top of your pelvis area. Back side of your reproductive organs. Do that for several breaths. Inhale white light. Exhale it all the way down your spine to the second chakra. And on the exhale, just see the white light disperse to the sides, feeling the whole back side of your pelvis. Breathing in again, white light. Exhaling last time around your pelvis. Breathing in, white light. And now this time, let's exhale it all the way down your spine and out through your root chakra into the earth. Down through your tailbone. A few more breaths. Inhale, white light. Exhale it all the way down your spine, clearing any lingering debris, exhaling it out through your root chakra into the earth. One more time. Inhale. Just a gentle exhale of the white light all the way down around your body, your torso. And just observing how you feel, what you notice, what you perceive. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Feel very relaxed and light.
Kind of light and spacey.
Oh, yeah. And my hip's not hurting at all. I felt like you start to shift the energy right in the beginning. And I was leaning back, and I think you felt me kind of getting too comfortable. And then I felt like getting like more like posture, better posture or something. I wasn't leaning back anymore.
You're
sit up, and the energy was going through. Felt like
you could adjust according to the flow. Yeah, as soon as I tuned into you, I can see there's stuff along your spine. That's why I did what I did, and especially around the third chakra area.
I have big time issues with my spine. I have scoliosis here, and that's right on the other side of here. So, and I have done a lot of work on my solar plexus. A lot of work. Sometimes, one time I did aura photography after I'd done a lot of work on my solar plexus, and I guess there's never enough work to be done on it. But in the aura photography, it was like this big yellow, like freaking mandala, like had a picture inside it. We were laughing at it, really
happy.
Yeah, but usually it's another time I did aura photography. I just did it one other time, and I didn't have that huge solar plexus, but I was with someone else, and they had the big yellow, and I had the orange. So it was just kind of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always in flux. It's always changing based on whatever we're thinking and feeling and eating, and all the things. I feel
great right now. Where can the listeners and watchers? I mean, look in my eyes. Do I look happier? I am, and I feel better. I mean, the pain does feel a lot better. Yeah, it's gone though. Yeah,
good.
I'll report back if I can sleep on it in a couple days. I'll let you know.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Thank you.
You're welcome
very much. And I hope listeners and our watchers, listeners, stop your car if you were listening now.
For sure. Yeah, pull over
now. I feel you're all healed. All these other parts of my body are like, go back and work on it some more. You need to keep going. I will tonight. And where can the listeners find out about you, more about you, and maybe learn your services or anything?
Okay. So they can go to my website, livingwellwithloralee.com. And on there, they'll find information about my coaching program, which is the Radiant Reset. And it's all about helping you restore and strengthen your digestive health. And then there's also a couple of free guides that they can get. One is about discovering the root cause of digestive health or digestive issues. And then another one is all about the 4 areas of yourself that need to be addressed to heal anything.
Oh, we had a podcast on here talk about that. That's wonderful, listeners and watchers. You should definitely get that. I'm going to go get that digestive information. I need it, as you could probably tell.
So those are 2 free guides you can get. Just download them off of my website. And then there's also some information about my energy work. I am in Las Vegas, so I do local work, and I could also do long distance energy healing work for those in your audience who are interested. So you can contact me through that location.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. And I'll put the links to her information and her places and her stuff and her things and all that good stuff in the podcast description if you haven't read it already and figured that out. I did that. I hope I do that. And last, I want to think of some advice. So let's say there's someone like us and they're younger and their whole life just goes boom at some point when they're first up to 25 to 30 years of life.
Yes. Yeah.
And you have to start all over. I've started all over several times, and that was the first really big boom. And so it was really hard to climb up out of that hole, and to not do it in a codependent, unhealthy way, like through a dude or through a drink or something like that, and I did do both those things. They didn't work, though. I noticed it didn't work. But what would be your advice to you? Like for them to get through that part. Yeah. Into the energy and see how they can help themselves.
Yeah, that's such a difficult chapter. And just a couple of things I would say, know that it's temporary.
Yeah, it's so true.
It's temporary.
It is temporary. It's very important.
There's nothing wrong with you.
Yes.
That the soul, spirit, life force, energy is moving within you, and it's cracking loose all the layers of dried mud and letting them fall away. So allow that process to happen. And another thing that I would really suggest for people who are in that first initial mode is really look to resources, podcasts like this,
definitely,
energy healing work. I cannot speak enough about that. Will save you more than anything. Because it's putting yourself back together energetically, mentally, and emotionally.
Yes, and you can feel changes in your everything pretty quickly. With even one treatment of Reiki, you can change your life.
Yeah, and absolutely.
Some people have that. It's like one of my stepsons. He said he'd never had a more spiritual experience until one of our friends gave him Reiki. And he was just like, wow. And he was 21 or 19 or something like that at the time. And imagine. I mean, I couldn't imagine getting Reiki at that age and being like,
That is the most important thing. And then just as your energy system shifts and changes, the body will follow. Yes. So I would say, try out 2 or 3 different energy practitioners.
Yeah.
See who you resonate with the most, and then just follow them. Just use their services as often as you feel you need to, and gradually know that you'll get through it, and allow yourself to learn and educate yourself along the way about what spiritual awakening is all about.
Yeah, it really is self-improvement and continuously.
Yeah.
Just to be happy where you are, or to change it and make it the way you want it. And, hopefully it's not like dominate the world. I don't know what you do with it. If you want to dominate the world, I don't know. We've had that conversation a few times on the podcast. Like, why do people want power? I just don't know. I don't get it because it just doesn't seem to get you anywhere, really. Well,
that's a whole other conversation. To me, it's we all have power. It's how we use it. And a lot of people don't know that they generate power within themselves. And so they think they have to suck it and parasite off of other people.
Interesting. Yes, they do. I guess that's learned behavior. I would say that's nurture over nature.
It's a combination of both, I'd say.
I think so.
But,
yeah,
it's just people who are so disconnected from themselves that they don't understand that they have power themselves.
Yeah. That's really fascinating. I'm going to think about that. Yeah. I'll let you just put some new thought on that power, new spins. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Loralee.
You're welcome.
And listeners and watchers, we love you. And Misty is somewhere in the ether, and she loves you. And Loralee loves you. And I love Everclear too. Everclear is our sponsor. Everclear is an advice app and website where you can get advice from psychics and empaths to get the clarity you need to create the life you deserve. And I'm an advisor on Everclear under the name Lisa P, Leesap, the letter P. And I don't know if it's going to work because I did a weird thing with my video. I'm trying a new thing, and like the words in my shirt are correct, but it's usually flipped. Like I'm trying a thing like to see if I'm looking at you correctly and everything works correctly when I mix it. Because when I usually mix it, in the videos, everybody's looking at all these weird directions instead of at each other. And I'm like, well, dang, I got to fix that. So I think I just did, but we'll find out when I mix this. So, and lastly, love you listeners and watchers. And we will see you I guess, in a couple days. Peace out. Thank you.
Thank you.